Get ready with me to take my first steps outside, guys. I know, I'm going to actually walk, but it's the first time in 2 weeks I have myself a new walker, so I'm going to be able to take some steps. So, let's see how we go. And this is the finished look. If you want to watch how I got there, watch the rest of the video. Hey guys, girls, kings and queens, theys and thems and in-betweens. As you can see, I have full use of both of my arms back. So, I thought, now that I have been asked a multitude of times during my lives, please do a makeup tutorial, please do a makeup tutorial. Here comes my makeup tutorial. First and most importantly, get your hair out your face. You don't want foundation in your hair and it just causes more difficulties. Now, usually I would start with a sun cream base, but I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going out. Also, that wasn't a spot. Oh, one thing we do need to do. Although I've already washed my face, I like to make sure that everything is completely clean and clear. And that piece of fluff on my head just reminded me that my face could do with a wipe. Making sure you have a clean slate and a clean base to begin with is very important. The next thing I need to do, as I've just felt, is, I don't know if you can see it, but my beard has come in. Can you see those little hairs? They're coming off. Make sure you wet your razor. Wet your face. And I like to put just a slither of moisturiser over the area because it makes it easier to glide. If you have access to shaving cream, that's obviously safer, and I didn't shave this fast, it's sped up. There we go. Nice and smooth. Oh. Missed a bit. Yeah. Nice and smooth. Give that a little rinse to get rid of the excess hair. Don't worry about getting your shirt wet because this shirt is coming off anyway. Not during the video, at the end. Don't be getting excited now. Next step, moisturiser. This one I use is Dizzy Panda Peptide Face Cream. Using a moisturiser helps soften your skin and also creates a barrier between your skin and the makeup. And don't forget your neck. Give that a minute to dry and rinse your hands. Next step is foundation. And if you're like me and the lightest shade is still too dark, get yourself a white base. Then you can mix the two together. So, wet your beauty blender. Moisturize me! Squeeze out all the moisture from that beauty blender. Apologies to those who hate the word moist. And then you can either use something like a little tub. I use the back of my hand because it's there. And I'm going to be washing my hands after this anyway. By the way, always wash your hands before and after applying makeup, because you don't want to be touching like the bathroom door handle or whatever and then getting all grossness up in your face. Right, so this isn't fully white, but it's like a undertone of yellow, annoyingly. But that should about do it. And then you mix them together with your beauty sponge. If the shade isn't right, you can add more foundation or base as needed. Still too dark, but it'll work once we put all of our other bits on it. And I know it looks the opposite, it looks too light, but my skin, trust me, I am lighter than this shade. I'm just red in the face. Don't be shy, use plenty, as much as you need, and make sure you blend it in as evenly as possible. See how it's starting to look closer to my skin? But once we put bronzer and stuff on, this will look normal. By which, of course, I mean normal for me. Close your eyes gently around the eyelid. Not tight, that way you get all of the lid without getting any in your actual eye. If you do get an in your eye, don't panic, just follow the bottle's instructions on how to remove it. Then we use what's left on the back of the hand to do the neck, so that we don't have any marks or lines. But we avoid our little beauty mark because we do not want it to be tarnished. It is called a beauty mark for a reason. There we go. Base, face, much closer. Still a bit orange, but close as we're going to get. Next step, concealer, which annoyingly is much closer to my actual shade. But if I went out this way, people would accuse me of being a goth instead of an emo. Or a vampire. And we just can't be having that now, can we? Representing emos and all that out there. So I use that to cover up any blemishes, which I only have the one there at the moment. And for my highlight spots, because I don't have any highlighter at the moment. And then use a different corner of your beauty brush. I think you mean blender. So that it doesn't mix in with your foundation. And go over your eyelid again. This creates a nice even base for your eyeshadow later. And voila! Bright doe eyes. That was Revolution Supersize, by the way. And next we've got another Revolution, which is my powder, 2-in-1 loose and pressed powder. Give me a second to find my brushes. I always use the pressed powder, so I do a layer of this first before I do any of my contour. And just look at the difference. Like, nice and no pores. Shiny. Not shiny. This stuff is great on camera and in person. It really does cover up the shine and the pores. Next, we've got our contour from, this is Technic Colour Fix. As you can tell, it's well loved and I have had it a while. For my contour, I suck in my cheeks. I then do the sides of my nose and the top of my forehead, and under my double chin to get rid of as many chins as possible. Next, we have MUA's Blushed, which is the prettiest shade of pink I think I've ever used on my face. Well, except for my fuchsia eyeshadow. And because I don't have highlighter, I use my Lorac eyeshadow palette, and I use my silvery, pretty little highlighty colour. See? I put my highlighter down the bridge of my nose, above my blush and below my contour. Now we use our pressed powder and our pressed powder brush to blend everything together, because I am lazy and don't own many brushes. I find using the same brush easier. I tend to start with my dark contour, then work my way up to my blush and finish with my highlighter. I find this is the best way to get it all to blend in naturally. So now we are going to be doing a blue and green eyeshadow colour, because that's the colour of my clothing that I'm going to be wearing today. Not that I'm going anywhere, but this is literally a get ready with me to go walk outside for the first time since my hemiplegic migraine. Oh, that's the perfect shade of bluey green I was going for. For my base eyeshadow, I put it along the lid and then I put it into the curvature of my eye in the crease. Right, next we are going to go up into like a silvery green, and then we're going to do like a foresty green on top of that. This is where I start to mix my colours, so I mix them in the crease and then go further up onto the lid. And now that they're even, we are going in with a lovely bright foresty green. This is the brightest shade and I like a drag queen effect, so we put it across the whole upper lid. There we go, they're about even. And then, eyebrows. Now, I've got a choice. Do I do my eyebrows green like the makeup or red like my hair? Hang on. I'm going to go red like my hair. So I'll have a red fringe and red eyebrows. Remember, your eyebrows are cousins, not twins. But to do this, I put red eyeshadow onto my eyebrow brush and follow the arch. Right, next step is going to be eyeliner, and I've got this gorgeous like teal green, which it's a bit big, so I've got to be careful because I'm doing it on my waterline. Gotta be careful that we don't poke out an eye here. After that, because we've got this bluey green look going on, I'm going to use my Sky High Sensor Total. Oh, Maybelline. My blue mascara. So as you can see, although it's sped up, I'm using long, slow strokes upwards and deliberately blinking hard so that the eyelash pushes down onto the spoolie. I have no idea how to use an eyelash curler. I've tried, I've never managed it, so I find this is the easiest way to do it, without one. And of course you've got to match that energy on the other eye because you want them to match as well as possible. It's so pretty! That's layer 1 done. Drying time is over. Let's do layer 2. This one's sped up much faster, but I'm basically doing the exact same thing as before. And last but not least, lipstick. Do we do a lip liner? No, I'm just going to do a lipstick. I don't usually do a lip liner unless I'm doing like an ombre, and even then I'm not very good at it. I have a cupid's bow, so I like to accentuate that. And last but not least, it would not be a Schnagelpop makeup look without some adornments. So I think we are going to go with a wee butterfly. And since it's blue, we got to do a teardrop. No, that's too low down. There we go. Right, I'm going to get changed and I'll be right back. All dressed. Last but not least, give our hair the fluffy treatment. Get my fringe down where it's meant to be. And there we go. Oh, and of course, we do not want to forget setting spray. Make sure you shake it before you spray it. And I always do a practice spray just to make sure I'm not just going to get it in the face because that's happened before. That's what she said. Keep your eyes closed while it dries. Whew. Yep, makeup stayed in place. And of course, some body mist. I always put it on the back of my neck, the front of my neck and my wrists. And just a spritz over the head for your hair. And now, I smell like a coconut. Oh, and of course, cannot forget the earrings. Bye guys!